Thank you for being part of this Read with Chetu community. I really appreciate you being here and me reading to you. Continuing reading The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Chapter 2, Choices. Keep it slow and easy. Don't panic. We're starting off with an easy breezy tempo. Just track one habit for 1 week. Pick the habit that has the greatest control over you. That's where you'll start. Once you begin reaping the reward of the compound effect, you'll naturally want to introduce this practice into other areas of your life. In other words, you'll choose tracking. Let's say the category you want to choose is getting your eating under control because you want to lose weight. Your task is to write down everything you put in your mouth, from the steak, potatoes, and the salad you have at dinner to those many tiny choices during the day. That handful of pretzels in the break room, that second slice of cheese in your sandwich, that fun sized candy bar, that sample at Costco, those extra sips of wine after the host tops off your glass. Don't forget the beverages, they'll all add up. But unless tracked, they're easy to dismiss or forget because they seem so small. Again, merely writing these down sounds simple, but it is. And it is, but only when you do it. That's why I'm asking that you commit to choosing a category and start a date now before, sorry, that's why I'm asking that you commit to choosing a category and a start date now because you turn this page, before you turn this page. I am going to start tracking dash on dash. What will the tracking look like? It will be thorough, as in organized, and relentless, as in constant. Each day, you'll start with the date at the top of the fresh page and keep track of everything that you are eating. What happens after the first week of tracking? You'll probably be in shock. You'll be astonished at how those calories, pennies, minutes have been escaping you. You never even knew that they were there, let alone that they vanished. Now, keep going. You're going to track in this one area for 3 weeks. Maybe you're already groaning. You just don't want to do it. But trust me, you'll be blown away by the results after 1 week. You'll sign yourself for another 2. I can practically guarantee it. Why 3 weeks? You've heard psychologists say that something that doesn't become a habit until you practice it for 3 weeks. It's not an exact science, but it's a good benchmark, and it worked for me. So ideally, I want you to stick with your choice to track your behaviors for 21 days. If you refuse, I'm not going to lose anything. Heck, it's not my waistline, cardiovascular health, bank balance, or relationship you're messing with. But seriously, you're reading this book because you want to change your life, right? And I promise you, it was going to take slow, steady work, didn't I? This one action isn't easy, but it's simple and doable. So do it. Promise yourself to start today. For the next 3 weeks, choose to carry around your own small notepad or a large one if that's more enticing, and write every single thing down in your category. What happens in 3 weeks? You move from the shock that follows the first week to the happy surprise of seeing how merely becoming conscious of your actions begins to shape them. You'll find yourself asking, do I really want that candy bar? I'm going to have to haul out my notebook and write it down, and I feel a little sheepish. That's 200 calories saved right there. Turn down that candy bar every day, and in a little more than 2 weeks, you'll have already lost a pound. You will start adding up the $4 coffee on the way to work and realize, holy cow, I've been spending $60 on coffee in 3 weeks. Hey, that's $1,000 a year. Or compounded, it's $51,833.79 in 20 years. How much do you really need to stop for that coffee? Come again? Am I saying that your $4 a day habit is costing you $51,833.79? Am I saying that your $4 a day coffee habit is going to cost you $51,833.79 in 20 years? Yes, I am. Did you know that every dollar you spend today, no matter where you spend it, it is costing you nearly $5 in only 20 years or $10 in 30 years? That's because if you took a dollar and invested it at 8%, in 20 years, that dollar would be worth almost 5. Every time you spend a buck today, it's like tasting $5 out of your pocket, taking $5 out of your pocket, of your future pocket. I used to make the mistake of looking at price tag and thinking that if an item was listed at $50, it cost me $50. Well, yes, in today's dollars. But if you consider the potential of that same $50 after it was invested for 20 years, the cost is 4 or 5 times greater. In other words, every time you look at an item that costs $50, you have to ask, is this item worth $250? If it's worth $250 today, then it's worth buying. Keep that in mind next time you go to a place like Costco with all sorts of amazing things that you don't know you didn't know you have to have. You go in to buy $25 worth of necessities and walk out with a $400 stuff instead. My garage looks like a Costco graveyard. Next time you walk into one of those bargain basement stores, assess things from this future value standpoint. Chances are you'll put down the $50 crepe maker, so future you have $250 more in the bank. Make the correct choice every day, every week for many years, and you can quickly see how you can become financially abundant. When you track with this awareness, you'll find yourself showing up in your life very differently. You'll be able to ask yourself, is having a coffee every day worth the eventual price of a Mercedes? Because that's what it's costing you. Even more than that, you're not sleepwalking anymore. You're aware and conscious and making better choices. All from a little notebook and pen. Simply amazing, isn't it? The unsung hero. Once you start tracking your life, your attention will be focused on the smallest things you're doing right, as well as the smallest things you're doing wrong. And when you choose to make even the smallest course correction consistently over time, you'll begin to see amazing results. But don't expect immediate fanfare. When I say small course corrections, I'm truly talking invisible. Chances are no one's going to notice them anytime soon. There will be no applause. No one's going to send you a congratulations card or a trophy for these disciplines. And yet, eventually, their compounding effect will return in an exceptional payoff. It's the littlest disciplines that pay off over time, the effort and preparation for the great triumph that happens when no one is looking. And yet the results are exceptional. A horse wins by a nose, but gets 10 times the prize money. Is the horse 10 times faster? No, just a little bit better. But it was those extra laps around the track, that extra discipline in the horse's nutrition, or the extra work by the jockey that made the results a slight better with compounded rewards. After hundreds of tournaments played and thousands of strokes tallied, the difference between the number one ranked golfer and the number 10 golfer is an average of only 1.9 strokes. But the difference in prize money is 5 times. Over 10 million versus 2 million. The number one golfer isn't 5 times better, not even 50% or even 10% better. In fact, the difference between the average scores is 2.7% better. Yet the results are 5 times greater. That's the power of little things adding up. It's not the big things that add up in the end. It's the hundreds, thousands, or millions of little things that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. To be one stroke better requires countless little things that don't get accounted for when you're putting on the green jacket. Let me give you a few more ways tracking small changes can result in huge payoffs.